Good morning. My name is Mok Ilam, and today I will be presenting my ethical hacking final assessment for the subject BCS 3644 Ethical Hacking. This assessment focuses on practical application of ethical hacking techniques to identify and evaluate security weaknesses within a network environment. The assessment is divided into four main parts, namely network reconnaissance and service discovery, network traffic analysis using Wireshark, password vulnerability assessment, and vulnerability analysis with security recommendation. The objective of this assessment is to understand how ethical hackers use security tools to identify weaknesses before malicious attackers can exploit them. All activities conducted during this assessment were performed in a controlled environment and strictly for academic and education purposes. Throughout this presentation, I will explain the methodology used, discuss the findings obtained from each task, and evaluate the security implications of the results. So this assessment consists of four major sections. Part A focuses on network reconnaissance using Nmaps. In this section, I identify local network information, discover active hosts, perform port scanning, and detect running services. Part B focuses on network traffic analysis using Wireshark. The objective was to capture and analyze network packets such as DNS, TCP, ICMP, and TLS traffic. Part C evaluates password security using John D. Ripple. Weak and strong passwords were compared to determine their resistance against dictionary attacks. Then Part D discussed the vulnerability identified during the assessment and proposed security recommendations to improve cybersecurity. These four sections represent important phases in ethical hacking because attackers often begin by gathering information, analyzing network communication, targeting authentication mechanism, and exploiting weaknesses. By understanding these techniques, organizations can better defend their systems. So this section focuses on network reconnaissance, which is process of gathering information about the network and its connected devices. The main tool used was Nmap. Is a popular network scanning tool that helps identify active hosts, open ports, running services, and software versions. There are four main tasks for this section, and then the task one is identify local network information. So the command used is ipconfig in terms to obtain the network details. The system had an IP address of 192.168.0.1.4, then a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and then a default gateway of 192.168.0.1. So the subnet mask indicate a 24 network giving a network range of 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.0.254. So identifying the correct network range is important because it defines the scope for later scanning activities. And then the default gateway actually acts as a router that allows communications between the local network and external networks such as the internet. Then task 2 is using Nmap host discovery to identify active device on the network. So the scan found 7 active hosts, including the router, the Oppo smartphone, a WNC device, several unknown devices, and the testing machine. So host discovery is important because every connected device may represent a potential attack surface. Unknown and unauthorized devices should be investigated to ensure network security and maintain visibility of all connected systems. Then the third task involves scanning the default gateway to identify the open ports. The scan reveals only two open ports, which are port 80 HTTP and port 443 HTTPS, while the remaining ports were closed. This is generally a good security practice because fewer open ports reduce the number of possible entry points for the attackers. Then port scanning helps administrators to identify exposed services and evaluate the security posture of the network device. Then the last task is the service version detection. It will identify the software running on the open ports. So the results shows that the port of 80 and port 443 were running in the NGINX reverse proxy services. So a reverse proxy will manage requests between the user and backend services. It will improve the performance and security. However, exposed service can become security risk if outdated software versions contain a vulnerability. Therefore, service version detection is an important step in vulnerability assessment because it helps the administrators identify services that may require updates or security patches. So this section focuses on network traffic analysis using Wireshark. It is a packet capture and analysis tools. So Wireshark will allow us to monitor communication between devices in real time. For this assessment, the Wi-Fi interface was selected and activities such as web browsing, DNS lookup, and ping requests were performed to generate traffic. Then the captured packets were then analyzed using different protocol filters to understand the network behavior and identify potential security concerns. So you can see the first protocol analyzed was DNS, or Core Domain Name System. So DNS translates the domain names like google.com into IP addresses so user can access the websites. Then the capture shows DNS queries for domains such as Microsoft and Bing services. This demonstrates how DNS operates in the background whenever websites are accessed. From a security perspective, DNS traffic can reveal browsing activity. Therefore, organizations should consider secure DNS techniques or technologies such as DNS over HTTPS or DNS over TLS to improve privacy and security. Then the next protocols analyzed were TCP and ICMP. So TCP will provide reliable communication between devices. The capture shows SYN, ACK, and FIN packets, which are part of the connection establishment and termination process. Then the ICMP is mainly used for network diagnostic. So during ping tests, ICMP echo requests and replies were captured, confirming successful communication between devices. While ICMP is useful for troubleshooting, unusual or excessive ICMP traffic may indicate network scanning or reconnaissance activities. And the final protocol analyzed was TLS, which secures communication over HTTPS through encryption. The capture showed TLS 1.2 encrypted traffic. Although source and destination information remain visible, but the actual data content could not be read because it was encrypted. So this demonstrates the importance of encryption in protecting sensitive information such as password, banking details, and personal data. And the use of HTTPS and TLS significantly reduces the risk of data interception during the data transmission. Okay, this section evaluates password security and demonstrates the risk of weak password. So a password protected zip file was created using the 7-zip and tested using John the repo. Two passwords were created. The weak password is password123 and the strong password is R #7VLP9QA. Then the zip file hash was extracted using zip2join and tested with a custom word list. The objective was to compare how easily weak and strong passwords can be cracked through dictionary attacks. So the first test used the password123, which contains the common word and simple number pattern. After extracting the hash, then John the repo successfully cracked the password almost immediately. This shows that predictable passwords can be easily recovered using automated password cracking tools. Then this result highlights the importance of avoiding common words, name, and simple number combination when creating password. Then the second test used the stronger password, which contains uppercase, lowercase, number, and special characters. When the same dictionary attack was performed, John the Ripper was unable to crack the password because it was not present in the word list. This demonstrates that strong passwords greatly increase resistance to password cracking attacks. Organizations should enforce strong password policy and implement multi-factor authentications to provide additional protection against unauthorized access. So based on the assessment, several security risks were identified. Weak passwords can be cracked quickly using automated tools, while open ports and exposed services may provide opportunity for attackers if not properly secured. In addition, unencrypted communications can expose sensitive information during transmission. So to reduce this risk, organizations should enforce strong password policies, configure and maintain firewall properly, close unnecessary port and services, implement continuous network monitoring, deploy IDS and IPS solutions to detect threats, use HTTPS and TLS encryption for sensitive communications. By implementing these security measures, organizations can strengthen their overall security posture and reduce the likelihood of cyber attacks. So in conclusion, this assessment demonstrates how ethical hacking techniques can be used to identify and evaluate security weaknesses in a network environment. Nmap was used to discover network devices, open ports, and running services. The Wireshark was used to analyze network traffic, including DNS, TCP, ICMP, and TLS communications. Then John the Ripper was used to demonstrate the difference between weak and strong password. So the results show that effective cybersecurity requires multiple layers of protection, including strong password, encryption, secure service configuration, firewall, and continuous monitoring. By implementing these security measures, organizations can reduce the risk of unauthorized access, data breaches, and cyber attacks. So thank you for your attention. That's all from my presentation.